Hello, wrestling fans. This is a special edition of SICW Wrestling Explosion. And yes, when I talk about a special edition, anytime we bring a legend into SICW, you know, we always filter that into our show. But we've got such a gentleman with us today that I felt that it was worthwhile to dedicate this entire segment to this man, because not only has he done everything in the business of wrestling, he is a veteran. And we salute all of our veterans, all of our first responders. And right here, this gentleman sitting next to me, my good friend, the Raging Bull, Manny Fernandez. Manny, it is a pleasure to have you at SICW.
It's a pleasure to be here, especially somebody representing old school, representing first responders, of course, the veterans. They're so close to my heart and my program, Pain and Laughter, for all the homeless vets. My dream of having all the veterans off the street, homeless vets getting something that this country owes them. I think to all the people in America should owe them that, but you know, we can get into that later on.
Yeah.
But my homeless program for the vets, I appreciate you getting it out there and letting the people know and saying, great place to be.
Yeah.
This area right here, Central States area, I was here, Central States champion for, you know, Geigel and all them down the pike, and Larry Matisak that's out here with us. It's just a great place to be.
It's a great place, and for you fans who follow SICW weekly on this radio, on this television show, you know St. Louis was a hotbed for wrestling, and that's why Larry Matisak and I continue to bring the old school style wrestling. And you can't do that without the likes of Manny Fernandez. And he just mentioned, you know, he worked for Geigel, Larry Matisak. He was a Central States champion for several years. And Manny, I guess, as we, over the next 30 minutes or so, I want to reminisce about what you have done when you came to St. Louis. The Kiel Auditorium, the Checker Dome, Wrestling at the Chase.
What have I done? I admired all the guys like Bruiser Brody and Dickie Murdoch and Dick the Bruiser, Harley Race. I can go on, Bob Geiger, Pat O'Connor, all the people that were here. Butch Reed got a big break here. You know, the Von Erichs. You had some Bob Orton Jr. I mean, you can go on and on. The names of who's who in the world of professional, in the history of professional wrestling. Some of the guys are the greatest legends. Terry Funk, Dory Funk, Ted DiBiase. I mean, you can go on and on. Some of the greatest talent that ever came from around the country all came to here wrestling at the Chase.
Well, and I know you saw when you came in the room here, the Wrestling at the Chase photo that we have here, the banner.
Yes, sir.
And you probably know everybody on that poster.
I sure do.
Wrestling at the Chase, as you said, Joe Garagiola. You add him in there with the likes of the Larry Matiseks and the Mickey Garagiolas.
Yes, sir.
Sam Muchnick up at the top of the poster.
Lana Kai, the girls that come in here.
Yes.
Beautiful Lana
Penny
Kai.
Banner.
Penny Banner, all the Kay Nobles, all the great.
Yeah.
Kay Nobles, I stole her bumps. She's the best bump lady in the world.
Well, and you talked earlier today, and it's really been an honor for me for the last 2 days since Manny got in town, is just sitting and talking. We've done a couple of radio interviews, and just to hear his stories of him when him and the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, were together. He is on that banner up there. You and Dusty spent how many years together?
About 37 years, I would say. 37 years. Most of my whole career I spent with Dusty. Wasn't for Dusty, I probably wouldn't be a pro wrestler. I probably would have been fired about 500,000 times too.
Well, and
he was the man that kept me in check.
Oh yeah, and then you mentioned the name, just about every name you mentioned, Bruiser Brody. I know you and him had a special place in your heart for Bruiser Brody.
We had a special bond, yes we did. It was for Brody and Stan Hansen and Murdoch, and I wouldn't have had that long run in Japan, 12 years in Japan. And they took good care of me there. They thought I was the craziest little guy that ever came out of West Texas State. Of course, I was the little guy.
Yeah, well, but compared to them guys, yeah. And we talked yesterday, you didn't want to be in wrestling.
No, wrestling never came to mind. I wanted to be a pro football player all my life, and I thought I'd play the game. But in the 70s, 6-foot offensive linemen, they were hard to come by. And, you know, it was hard to make. I made it for a couple of years. Then I'm glad, thank God, did Funks and Murdoch and all, Stan Hansen, Bruiser Brody, Ted DiBiase, and all the guys, Tito Santana, another one, you know, all come from West Texas, you know, open their heart and open their arms and say, come on, kid, so let's be a wrestler.
Who was that person that come to you and said, Manny, you can be a wrestler? Who was that guy? Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember. He didn't come like that, though. He said, "Guy, come here, kid. You're going to be a pro wrestler." That was Dick Murdoch.
Dick Murdoch. And it's funny, you're sitting here, and as I told you yesterday, I was that young man that was in the right place at the right time when I got to meet Larry Matisak and him and I be we made that bond, and then he introduced me to Sam Muchnick. The names that you're sitting here mentioning are all the guys that Larry Matisek has introduced me to over the years. Dick Murdoch, one of the greatest guys we ever had at SICW, and I can see him coming and telling you, "Come here, boy, you're gonna be a wrestler whether you want to be or not." So, and we talked over the last couple of days with Manny, those experiences riding in the back of the car with the Briscoes.
With spear cans, you mean?
Yeah. You know, if
Not
you didn't open
aluminum
it,
cans, they were cans.
yeah, if you didn't pop the can on it, you handed it up there to them, they threw it back at
Hit
you.
you in the head with it. Aluminum cans ain't so bad, but these were tin cans.
So as we go forward here, tell the fans who watch Wrestling Explosion, SICW Wrestling Explosion, what is your perception of what it used to be to what it is today?
Oh my God, Time Warp, maybe, or Lost in Space. There used to be a cartoon like that, Lost in Space.
Yeah.
No, it's kind of, it's so different. I mean, back when I started this profession that I love so much, it was, you listened to veterans. Shut your mouth and listen. You learn to be great. The Harley Races, the Dory Punks, the Cherry Punks, the Murdoch, Blackjack Mulligan, Sonny Kings, Don Moroccos of the world. They raised me. They raised me in the ring. They talked to me about the match. They calmed me down. They showed me how to be a professional wrestler. I don't think there's professional wrestlers today. I think there's guys that think they're in the circus. It's all about flip-flopping and bouncing off.
Yeah, you call it the Circus Soleil. Or
Circus du Soleil is what I call
Circus
it.
du Soleil.
You know, and it's just, it's ridiculous. There we just learn so much. And the art of wrestling, it's like I told a person, wait a minute more. The circus has been around a couple hundred years. Wrestling's been around 3,000 years. The Greeks started wrestling back when they did it. One of the big contests was wrestling.
we talked about Abe Lincoln being a wrestler.
And Abe Lincoln was a wrestler. And, you know, wrestling's been around forever. It'll be around forever. And people start realizing old school wrestling is really new school wrestling because these clowns don't know how to do wrestling. And when you show them wrestling, the people go, oh my God, that's great.
Oh yeah, and that's kind of what we're doing here at SICW, is trying to keep that old tradition alive that Sam Muchnick and Larry Matisek
And yourself.
And well, I'm just I'm that lucky guy that happened to be there and to sit here.
And I'm the same guy they call, I'm not a legend.
Well, and that's the
Not
other
a
guy
legend.
I was just getting ready to do. He doesn't like to be called the legend. Of course,
No.
you fans know that I pride SICW in having the legends come in. And as he said, the real legends are those in Arlington Cemetery, because you are a veteran.
Yes, sir.
And
Veteran of
we want to
Vietnam
talk about
War.
that a little bit. How many years did you serve?
2.5 years. I had to give 6 months of training, becoming on the part of the U.S. Navy SEALs.
Right.
Something I'm very proud of. In fact, today I saw a beautiful video. Somebody sent me, Ricky Reyes from Lucha Underground, sent me this beautiful video. It's the Admiral of the U.S. Navy talking about his time with the SEALs and talking about simple things to accomplish something simple in life. You know, simple as making your bed. Simple as learning how to wrestle properly, how to have psychology, how to take care of somebody's body, how to take care of the fans that pay the dollars to make your salary. That kind of thing. It was a beautiful video that I had to repost, and it's talking about his experience of becoming a Navy SEAL and how there was a Hispanic, there was a black, there was an Italian American, Polish American. They have no distinction.
No.
It's just to go out there and try to make it on that
Exactly.
team. And the funny thing about it was they were the biggest guys, and the smallest guys, they called the Munchkin team, ended up being the best team that was ever out there.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have to take a quick commercial break, but don't go away. This great discussion continues in just a moment. Special message for schools, clubs, and all civic groups, school athletic departments, police and fire departments, or any charitable organization. Raise funds for your group, bring the stars, thrills, and excitement of SICW to your community for a fun night of family-friendly action. For more information, contact SICW at 618-286-4848 or visit us on Facebook at SICW Wrestling Explosion.
For music and fun, the place to party is Pop's nightclub and concert venue in Sojay. From Bruno Mars of the first U.S. tour of Nickelback to Flogging Molly or the Insane Clown Posse, 30 years of memories pack Pop's concert venue with more made at every new show. And there's a party at Pop's nightclub every night, a melting pot of friends enjoy the best in dance, rock, pop, and top 40 music until 5:30 a.m. Plus add a full game room. Check out all the action at popsrocks.com. Then and now, the place to party is Pop's in Sojay.
The old season is over. The new season is coming. The Gateway Grizzlies are building for a spectacular campaign. The talent will be strong, hard-hitting, solid defense, reliable pitching. Plus, as always, the Grizzlies will have a schedule of superb promotions. It will be fun for the entire family at the right price. The Grizzlies were named the Frontier League Organization of the Year. The home for all this baseball excitement is the remarkable GCS Ballpark. Make plans now to enjoy baseball the way it should be. For more information and updates, go to gatewaygrizzlies.com.
When we talked the last couple days on the radio shows, we talked about a variety of things. You talked about this match with you and Wahoo McDaniels.
You mean getting beat up by Wahoo McDaniels? That wasn't much of a match. He beat me up pretty good.
But you know, tell the fans at home what it was like when you showed up at the arena and you're building this feud, because that's what that match was leading up to, a big payoff.
Yes, but the thing is about Wahoo McDaniels, besides all that, was one of the greatest Native American athletes ever.
Yes.
You know, played football in the NFL 13 years. He still holds the record for a punt in Oklahoma, 70 yards in the air, not rolling. You know, and he was just amazing. I was amazed with working with him. Yes, we battled and we had hard matches. We beat each other after death. But to prepare for that, I prepared. You know, a lot of people ask me, I tell all the young guys, when do you get ready for your match? Well, I don't know. Well, then you shouldn't have a match. I learned a long time ago, you get ready for your match when you walk out of your house. You prepare for that match when you walk out of your house. And all the way down the road on this thing, I'm going, damn, I got Wahoo McDaniel. Damn, he's going to beat the heck out of me. Damn, I'm
You tore his headdress up, too.
Oh, yeah. I regretted that. That would kill me. But, you know,
right.
No.
And in your career, you wrestled everywhere. You went to Puerto Rico, Japan,
Russia,
all
South
over.
Africa. I didn't like that country. Oh, Puerto Rico. No.
Yeah, and again, I mean, we're going to talk about that Puerto Rico deal shortly here. But each area was different, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Japan, I always was told from Bruiser Brody and Hansen and them. Over there, it was a lot tougher.
You had to fight.
Yes.
That's why I got the nickname Cemento. But I got that nickname because I was sick man with Brody and Hansen, and I went out there with the Japanese and started doing American style wrestling. They pulled me back by the hair and said, "You don't start beating up these guys, we're gonna beat you up." I said, "No problem."
Yeah. So you learned real quick. It goes back to that, you kept your ears open and your mouth shut.
Yes,
and
sir.
that's what probably a lesson that a lot of these, and we said this yesterday on the radio shows that we did, we're not talking about any of these young guys who are following their dreams.
No,
They need to watch some of those old videos of a Wahoo McDaniels against the Raging Bull Manny Fernandez, or Bruiser Brody. I watched one of Iron Anderson and you. Simple psychology that blew the roof off of the place. Yep. No high flying, no hermacaratas or whatever they call it, flip flops and
flop. It's funny, you know, because we were just out here signing autographs, and the guy opened up a magazine, and it shows a picture of me, and the first line in the sentence says, Manny Fernandez, master of the aerial moves.
Yeah. But back then it was different.
Yeah. I drop kicked you in the face and knocked you out.
Yeah, well, it's like you told me, you know, you had a match a couple of days ago up on the East Coast, and the guy come to you and says, "Hey, I'm a high flyer," and you said, "Oh yeah, so am I." And you
drop kicked him in the face and knocked him out.
And you said, "Hey, I'm a high flyer too." In fact,
he didn't appreciate that, but you know, whatever.
Well, but again, it's what, if you really want to be in the business, you need to learn it.
Shut your mouth.
Shut your mouth. Listen to the veterans. As I told you yesterday, I take a little heat over bringing legends in. Some of the guys that used to be in this locker room would say, "Why are you bringing the legends in? You need to do this with us. You know, we can go out there and do it. The old days are gone." As far as I'm concerned, at SICW, and as long as Larry Matasek and I and Drew Ebenhouse and Grant Murphy and all of that inner circle's got a breath in us, we are going to keep that old school mentality alive because there is a fan base for it. Real quick, I want to just sit here. I want to throw a couple names out there to you, and I want you to tell me your impression of them. Terry Funk.
It wasn't for Terry Funk dropping that strap to me in 1979, 8 months in the business. I was 8 months in the business. I'd have been nobody. You know, he believed in me that strong that he put his name and probably his career on the line for me. And it just, I love him to death. We're just so close that, you know, it's like Where you at, kid? It's time you come by and see me. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And he calls me kid. And I told Terry, I'm 63 now. You're still a kid.
Oh, yeah. And as I told you yesterday, I love it when I call Terry and say, hey, I've got a potential show we're doing, and they'd like to have Terry Funk on it. And he'll say, Simmons, you know I'm retired, but what's it paying?
Yeah.
That's Terry, and we love him to death. Another guy you've mentioned to him several times here through this program, Dirty Dick Murdoch.
Priceless.
No more Dirty Dick Murdochs out there. No. I mean, he was one of a kind.
One of a kind. Priceless. I mean, if he was alive, I mean, I lost Dickie early, you know, and when I was in the ring, and when I was Florida Heavyweight Champion, just the way he taught me, and when I would go off and off kilter and try something, he'd say, not yet. You're not that good. He'd always put it in my mind, you're not that good yet. You're going to get there, but not yet. So I slowed myself down. It's priceless. There's no word for it.
Yeah. We talked about a show that I posted up earlier this week, you and Iron Anderson. What was Iron?
Iron was a great guy until he got with the Horseman thing. Then he just followed me. You know, I'm not on the brown nose kind of guy. I don't like politics. I like being the athlete, the guy that goes out and gets it done. I'm not a politician, so I'm gonna tell you how I feel. And you know, Iron just. He's a good guy, great worker. Great worker. We had a, you know, it's like people say, well, Arn got you over. No, Arn came in, I got everybody over, okay? You know, they wrestled me, I didn't wrestle them.
Exactly.
Because if I had to wrestle them, I would have ate them up.
And here's the last one I'm going to throw out there to you. Bruiser Brody.
Man, you know, sometimes when I think about Bruiser on that, they got hardcore before it was hardcore, sometimes I cry. I want to cry because he reminds me of part of the guys that I shared the teams with my SEAL Team 2, Peter Ford, and he was that kind of guy that I know he had my 6 all the time. If I had to go on a serious, you know, we had a 3-4 hour firefight, I knew he'd always have my 6. I knew I could trust him. I knew if I got in jam, he'd be the first guy there to be, and that's what he was with me, you know.
And as we talked yesterday, 29 years ago this month, we lost Bruiser Brody in Puerto Rico.
Correct.
Where were you at? Do you remember when that happened?
Yeah, I was in Tokyo, Japan. I had gone to do my tour, and I remember Masa Hattori coming up to tell me. But the way they explain things in Japan, it's kind of, when he came up to me, because he knew how close me and Brody was, he told me, "Mani-san, Brody gone." I said, "Yeah, okay, he's gone. Gone where?" "Was he gone?" "No, Mani-san, gone." "Well, what do you mean gone, dude?" You know, I was
right.
like, you know, it was like I couldn't understand. And then when he blurted out, "Dead," I was like, "What?" I just kind of freaked out, looked at him like I wanted to grab and slap him. I couldn't believe that came out of his mouth.
Right. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, and Brody was one tough mother, and you know, it took a lot of them, you know, and that's why I hate them. But
have you been back to Puerto Rico since then?
I went back there one time to just, you know, I was brought up this way: we leave no one behind, no one left behind, and payback. You get one of mine, I'm gonna get 20 years. That's the way we were trained to do. That's the way I lived it after I came through with my service. That's why I live it today. You know, that's why I tell people, I don't have brothers. I mean, I don't have friends. You can buy a friend for $5 on the corner. I have brothers.
Well, and everybody knows in the SICW fan base, the Bruiser Brody 3 DVD set just recently came out that Barbara
Very
Goodish
well
narrated. You were part of that. So many of the legends, Terry Funk, Dory Funk, Larry Matisek's on there. I did a segment on there about our dealings with the late, great Bruiser Brody. And I think that's what kind of stirred my interest when I saw that interview that you did on there. I could tell that what you said on that DVD was from your heart. You wanted to go back to Puerto Rico and you wanted to get justice.
Yeah.
Because justice hasn't been served.
Yeah, never, and it still hasn't been served.
No, still.
You know, because I didn't complete the job. Like I tried. Trust me, I tried. But you know, payback to me comes from 1974, 73, 75. You know, when we evac Vietnam, that was that ate me up alone. That alone. And then when this happened there, in my head, I said, no, I'm not pulling out this time.
We have to take one more quick break, fans, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, Herb and Manny continue their chat about Bruiser Brody and discuss what the Raging Bull is up to now. Don't go away.
Unique and affordable gifts and collectibles on the internet are available at the Black Bear Haversack Trading Post. Go to blackbearhaversack.com. semi-precious stones, bone horn and soapstone items, abalone shells, genuine coyote and water buffalo teeth pendants, products for Civil War, medieval, and Renaissance reenactments, and so much more. For a 10% discount, mention SICW number 7 when you place your order. It's blackbearhaversack.com for top quality at reduced prices.
From the World Series champion Tigers in '45 to the Gateway Grizzlies to the '03 State Tournament Belleville East Lancers. A tradition in baseball and an even longer tradition in fine furniture and service. Miller Furniture, 1004 East Main in Belleville.
Ladies and gentlemen, mark your calendars. SICW has 3 huge shows in the month of October. Saturday, October the 7th, it's a fundraiser for the St. Clair Special Emergency Services Association with special guest Ricky the Dragon Steamboat at the Swansea Firehouse. Then October the 21st, we return to the East Carondelet Community Center, and Saturday, October 28th, in a fundraiser for the State Park Volunteer Fire Department, we go to the Caseyville, Illinois Community Center. For information on all these events, visit us on Facebook at SICW Wrestling Explosion.
And as I told you, Manny, another great time in my business. As you know, I've never been a worker, but neither was Sam Muchnick.
Right,
but I've had the pleasure of meeting Frank Bruiser Brody, and my first encounter with him sticks in my mind. And back in 1988 when we lost him, I mean, I lost a piece of not only the business side of it, him and I become such good friends. We still keep in contact with his wife, Barbara Goody. She comes in every year. We do the Bruiser Brody Memorial. We have a big trophy cup that we award every year to the winner. And as long as I'm able to, we're going to continue to keep that legacy alive.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. See, in this business, I met a lot of people. Because, you know, my background, my mentors, all, you know, taught me respect and respect everybody. And then there's people that I call in this business beautiful people. Those are people I love to death. Brody, Wahoo, Harley Race, Terry Funk, Dory Funk, Blackjack Mulligan, Dickie Murdoch, Dennis Stamp. We lost Dennis Stamp not too long ago. Ted DiBiase, Chilo. Everybody I grew up with in the business in West Texas State. Then there's people, brothers that I like. But Brody was one of my beautiful people.
Well,
and that's why, to me, it's a great loss. It's a great loss because this business lost to Bruce and Brody was a main event anywhere in the world.
Anywhere.
And made money.
We had Abdullah the Butcher in a couple of months ago, and they had a feud that lasted forever and ever. And anywhere they went, they made dollars for the promoters. And Abby said the same thing. And the legends that we have brought in, whether it be Dory Funk, Terry Funk, Ted DiBiase, Coco Beware, all of those guys have all said the same thing, that during their career, St. Louis wrestling was kind of like the pivotal point. I remember even J.J. Dillon telling me that the backroom talk was you really didn't make it until you got to go to the Wrestling at the Chase at the Coruscant room.
Yeah, that's right. Or the Checker Dome, or wherever we wrestle. It's like, I loved it back then because the story I love was the Terry Bollea came to town.
Oh, yes. You wrestled Terry Bollea.
I wrestled Terry Bollea, but he didn't enjoy the wrestling match.
No, I can tell you.
Of course, everybody probably would know who that was, but Harley Race told me, just go out and stretch him.
Yeah.
He got stretched.
And that's what happened. And then we brought that up at the radio show last night, and then when you mentioned that, those guys, I could tell they didn't know who Terry Bollea was. And when we told them it was Hulk Hogan, they said, "You wrestled Hulk Hogan when he was Terry Bollea?" Yep. And he also beat him. But Harley Race, we didn't talk a bunch about Harley. I mean, I know you and Harley are personal friends.
Oh,
and
yes.
Harley's going through a little health issues right now, and he's on the road to recovery.
That's fantastic.
We wish him well. But Harley was one of those guys that really knew the business, and
oh my God,
one of the hardest workers.
I wrestled him 13 times for that world title. I don't know how much knowledge he put in my head, but I thank God every day I get in that ring, something will come up, and I'll say, "What would Harley do?" "Oh, he would do this." And he calmed me down. He told me one time, he said, "Calm down, kid. They are the puppets. I am the puppet master. I pull the strings. Yeah. They just buy a ticket, not you."
Yeah. Let's move forward a little bit. A guy that you got to talk to last night, Cowboy Bob Orton Jr.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, you guys driving down the road there, I gave you the phone.
Oh man, many times driving down. The best stories is him and Murdoch in Japan. They all know I'm ticklish, even Harley. when Harley used to get me when I was wrestling. Oh my God, I'm so ticklish. But him and Murdoch in Japan would always work it to where I'd be on, not paying attention to something. We'd be sitting there eating. I'd have food halfway down my throat. They'd get both sides and go, yeah! I'd jump straight up in the air, lose all the food, spill all the beer, and they'd be laughing their butt off. All the Japanese would be freaking out, going, what happened? What happened? And those guys would just...
Bob is a great guy. As you fans all know, Bob has been with SICW for many, many years, and a great guy.
He gave his son his first match,
Gave
right?
Randy Orton, South Broadway Athletic Club, and I gave Randy his first match there, and Randy's never forgot that.
Yeah.
Let's move on real quick. Your foundation, the Veterans.
Pain and Laughter.
Tell us real quick.
I started that foundation with a guy named Phil Medina, who does a Refly tour, and it's kind of like the Hispanic version of Jeff Foxworthy and Sam White or whatever that guy's name. I forget about all the comedians, but we trying to get money raised to get all the veterans. My dream and my lifetime goal is to get every veteran off the street, get them a place to live with all the red tape about. I've been through that crap with other veterans where you have to go through that red tape and down payments and security deposits and everything. This foundation, whatever it needs to get done, we get it done. No red tape, no nothing. He needs $1,000 to move in, give him the $1,000 to move in and get him off the street.
So if somebody wants to help out with that organization, how do they go about doing that?
They can contact me, or they can contact whatever VFW that I'm associated with, because I'm trying to go around the country to all the VFWs, and they're going to start helping us promote shows and do shows, and then get, veteran affairs.
Well, that's good. And again, you heard Manny say earlier, if he can get one veteran off the street, it's successful. He has a dream. We all have dreams. It doesn't cost anything to dream.
Nope.
And I can tell you with the determination that this man's got to hear it, he's going to help. He's going to help out those veterans out there because he is a veteran. And not only that, he has contributed so much to the wrestling business. As you just heard, just a minute part of what this man's career has been about. We could sit here and talk forever and ever, and we could entertain you forever. Right. But anytime that you see, and I don't know where it would be in the Midwest because SICW kind of has the market on bringing in the legends. So we continue to do that, and we will continue, but it's been such a pleasure to have Manny Fernandez, the Raging Bull at SICW.
It's an honor to be here. It's an honor.
And this guy is he's at the top, and anywhere you see that Manny Fernandez is going to be showing up, you need to go. Now that we're on Fight TV Network, anywhere you see it around the world, you need to go see this guy. He is the real deal. I want to thank everybody who's joined us today. Manny, it's an honor to have you with us here. Good luck on your foundation that you've got going on.
Thank you very much.
And fans, as I said, this is a special edition, no wrestling. Grant Murphy, our great producer, is probably he's filtered in some shots for you, but it was just my thought that I wanted you to hear from a legend for this segment. Next week we'll be back. Dr. Drew will have a fantastic show for you. We appreciate all the support you give to SICW. Don't forget our first responders. Don't forget our military people out there, because without them, we can't do this. We'll see you next week.
And honor our flag.